You have to say they smoked Astralis. And Team Spirits, who made it to the semifinals of the last major, trying to get back in this one again. And a chance, there's even a legend spot available for this. You understand that whole tiebreak better than I do, Chad. But either way, they qualify. That's the first and foremost importance. This scenario will take contact and fall off as GXX rotates over.
All right, GXX needs to try and get at least a bit of damage done here because they're swarming. It's actually Scenary. He's the man who popped down, not a Canary. We'll grab that kill back. And magixx with the trade means window control taken.
I do love that Team Spirit as a CIS team, they just said it. If you can withstand the early pressure, you know, we barely had time to get the intro out of our mouths and we were into the round there, Chad, and it's gonna be good. I love that high octane style. It's getting more and more rare, but man, it's fun. And magixx shows us why as he gets two. GXX pulls back only the single, but Siren is there to shut down any retake potential. Just Synopsy, who looked pretty solid yesterday when we watched them. No question about that, but he's not looking like he's gonna get much going in that situation. Spirit up 1-0.
Yeah, good stuff from Boris the Butcher there. 3 kills for him. And this is the thing with the Bad News Eagles momentum, right? They were talking about the fact that they can snowball. Well, if you can stop the landslide of rounds, especially on the T side of Nuke, you're going to be off to a great game on your map choice. So good start here from Spirit. I also like Yanko referencing the fact that, yeah, sure, BNE like it aggressive, but so does Patsy, right? And we saw that, well, that's the embodiment of this team. He's the X factor. They lost Dexter, but they have Wonderful. And we'll get into a force buy from the Eagles on round number 2. Now, it's so crazy. The campaign of Spirit that started back at the RMRs for the Antwerp Major, I had the pleasure, well, at the time it didn't really feel like the pleasure, of covering a Team Spirit matchup against a Sinners at the time on Nuke. And sure, they got rinsed. They got absolutely destroyed. And then Spirit ended up qualifying. They ended up making it all the way. They ended up going all the way to the semi-final with that match against FaZe. So they became a different looking team. Now they're on our radar. So let's see if they're able to continue to have that output. You look at these pieces, right? I mentioned Patsy, this flary rifler who likes to get stuck in. You obviously have Siren as the anchor. You go through Chopper, the in-game leader that we all know and love with the MAC-10 in hand. magixx, he's also a plucky gunman from this squad that's been around for some time. He's going to grab himself 2 here in the hut position, and then that leaves Wonderful, the newest addition to the team. But 2 back right now for BNE. They're making this interesting.
Chopper's been around for a long time now as well, as it was, you know, Vega with him and Mir and everyone along those lines. Got a wealth of experience. GXX scenario, you're right. At least some way this somewhat costly. There's 2 AKs still they could take out of the hands of the T's right now. And more importantly, they could even take them out if they could save one. That'd be even better. But they're certainly trying to make this round expensive. Not going to happen. The AK is winning out of the duels.
I like the cutthroat nature there as well. Not letting them save, not letting them hang around, try and pick up a rifle. So take everything away. Now they'll be on the FICO, which is the full eco, not the player from OG. Sure, you'll see what I did there. But yeah, you were talking about before, like the legend stage and who's going to qualify where. We won't get into the nitty and the gritty of that because it's going to be way too difficult for us to... well, it won't take us too long, actually. But there's 3 2-1 matches going on in this group right now. You've got 1win versus C9, Bait versus Sprout, and this game right here, Spirit versus Bad News Eagles. Now, the top ranked out of all of those will take one of the legend spots. The bottom 2, right, and we're talking of the teams that win, will then play in a 4th, 5th decider matchup for a Legends position as well. So that basically, if you don't know what that means, if you win here, you qualify for the major. If you can get a legend spot, you skip the first 4 days worth of play. The first Swiss stages. There's another Zeus, but oh, it's gone already. Ulti in the server right now from Synopsy. And they should be cleaning this one up. So very, very tidy stuff for Spirit here in the early stages of Nuke. Oh, we can hear someone yelling next to us.
Yeah, that's, I'm assuming that would be map 2 of the... what went to overtime in the first one? It was...
Could be Fantasy Illumina, which is map 3.
Well, I was going to say, but I think it's Heat Saw that's in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're in map 3 as well.
I think that I saw... Let me confirm. Hang on. I can tell you who's in there.
There was the Unicorn jersey. He'd have the... I don't know what it... I guess Heat's...
okay, it is Fantasy that's in there. Yeah, Fantasy's the Unicorn. It's the orange with the pink and blue. That's what I was going to look up. Which one had that.
Hudson and Aiken,
those are actually,
those guys.
I love the pink and blue Unicorn. I don't love the yellow as much, but I do like the jersey overall.
So they need to fix the contrast here.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll touch on, you know, some more fashion talk in a moment. But yeah, it's them versus Illuminar at this point in time for a...
Elimination.
Yeah, elimination match. Chance to survive and stay in this at 1 and 2.
Oh, nice one there from Rigon catches wonderful.
And someone corrected us on Twitter yesterday, said Rigon is also from the same, area as the rest of Bad News Bears from, oh God, why am I blanking right now?
Bad News Bears?
Bad News Bears. That's just bad habit. Kosovo, thank you. Stuck in my head for a moment.
Bad News Eagles.
I was going to say Macedonia. That would have been really far off. I don't know why I was thinking that. Yes, Bad News Eagles. They're a cooler animal. But he was Swiss-born, but he's of the...
Well, he displays the Swiss flag.
Kosovonioni?
He displays the Swiss flag, so he's trying to trick us.
Well, yeah, because that's probably what his passport and such says.
Well, there you go.
Does he get to choose that on HLTV, by the way? Because they don't have access to birth.
He could ask. Yeah, he could definitely ask.
It's not like they just, yeah, anyway, whatever. Scenario inside the orange box position is going to take out one already. He's going to follow that up with some spray toward Chopper, who's going to light him on fire, force him out of this. Does he just concede?
Yep. Maybe the right call. He delayed some time by just hanging out.
That's interesting. Just a totally non-aggressive death as he stays inside of it. The problem is magixx now has Rigon, so they have a chance at this in what is now a 3-on-2, a 2-on-2, a 2-on-1. Chopper's going to find another. As inside of the site, maybe he should have pushed out through that Molotov. They might turn this from a 5-on-2 into a win, and Chopper does it with 4 kills.
Uncle Chop. You mentioned he's been around for some time and still doing it here in the server. The in-game leader of Spirit with some massive impact early. And if you were worried about the Bad News Eagles getting back on the board, well, the Dragon, it's got some fire in the breath today. That is a massive round to steal. Should never have been theirs, considering how it kicked off. Rigon gets the spam frag through the smoke. Then Chopper just playing a map here on the cusp of the ramp. Beautiful shooting from Chopper. I don't know if Siren knew what was going on there. I know magixx is looking for an extra fist bump, but Siren he wanted his as well. He's like, can I have my fist bump, please? I'm down the very end. I can only do one.
Well, that's fairly straight on the Molotov death. I get your point. He doesn't delay. He knows there's a guy in there, so he's like, why isn't he peeking me? Why isn't he peeking? He's trying to buy that time, but, I mean, maybe spray back through the smoke or something. It was kind of curious that he just literally succumbed to it. I'm
surprised the teammates didn't try and scream down there a little bit quicker and assist, because they knew that magixx was over towards that squeaky door position as soon as he got the kill. They could have isolated Chopper quicker, and maybe that's what they were trying to do. But one by one they go, and one by one they fall.
So 4-0 now for Team Spirit on a round that was ultimately lost, and this one's going to just be cleaned up and collected as a result of the money. So the Bad News Eagles, not the Bears, Chad. There's one Flatcher, the only one left.
Might be a big enough eagle to carry a bear.
Yeah, a little cub,
bear, maybe
a little cub.
Yep. You know, that round right there, it's very simple what Spirit did, but I love the details in Counter-Strike that make these rounds easy, right? They smoke towards main, they molly behind CT vent, they remove the close T vent concern. They go wide on their spacing to take the jewels procedurally through the site, make sure that they're opening up to get the top hut fight. It's the little details like that, right? The spacing, the flight paths, the understanding. These are the things that in the server, when they talk about these maneuvers that they've gone over, right? You sit there the night before, well, probably not the night before while you're practicing. We're talking maybe months and months ago, and just these little details. And a lot of this understanding comes from the in-game leader and the coach, and then they need to flow through the team. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Poor Flatcho can't finish him, but the bomb will. Patsy goes down. And a 5-0 start for Spirit here. Spirit, you know, they didn't show anything too exciting during Pro League. So it'd be nice to see them showing a bit of a better face here. Stage Counter-Strike is definitely different type of Counter-Strike than what we have when it's a bit more studio environment, especially playing at home. At that point, I actually start favoring some of these teams who are a bit more aggressive in staging. But that's why FaZe and Na'Vi, because in that environment, they can actually flourish in it, right? They don't whimper in it. Their style doesn't... If you're... Oh, okay, Rigon, where are we going?
Well, for a walk. Just getting some fresh air. Stays in the shade, he'll go down with it. Wonderful's gonna find it.
Back to the point about on stage.
Yeah, carry on.
So like a FaZe or an RV, like they understand how to play in that environment, and this is part and parcel of it. Whereas if you're a team who's a bit more systematic or a bit slower, sometimes the crowd can make you play faster just by the virtue of like all that, the rumblings, the atmosphere, the moment.
Sometimes there's like tells because there's that suspenseful buildup where people are like, oh, because they think someone's gonna peek.
Bit of a lull, yeah.
Yeah, and it can, It's kind of like how people used to just like wiggle their crosshair at walls so they get a reaction and see. It was like the bait.
That was the zip strategy in Odense, I remember that one. It was like an overpass game.
Yep, absolutely. But you're not wrong. I mean, and we're starting to see, the good news is we're starting to see a lot of the online teams that were so good during the pandemic. And hey, you can call them, oh, they're onliners. Well, the point is they made the best of the situation and good on them for doing it. It also showed us some new talent. they are going to have an adjustment period. But I think this major, we're getting into it right now, where FaZe, they don't look unbeatable. And Na'Vi looks a little shaky still, too. So you've got a real chance, I think, of the best competition in a while. And a lot of these teams with those younger players, quote-unquote onliners, are getting better on land. So it's going to be competitive all the way through, I think. One flat true, steps out, doubles up. In fact, the damage was already there. He fired through to get the second shot. But it's magixx that's going to get the shot back. That's close enough. He's going to go down the vent. And Wonderful sits back with the AWP to see if anyone wants to follow. But they have the smokes in place. The bomb is going to be planted by Chopper.
Well, Scenario needs to carefully creep up here. It will allow them to take back into decon. Chopper needs to trade this because Wonderful's down. 1 on 3 for Chopper, and this time won't get it done. Synopsy cleans him up, and they will get the first round on the board, retaining AKs, an AWP, and the defuse for good measure.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's Synopsy's first 2 kills. Who's a top player for them, no question. Did he throw his gun away?
He got it.
Okay, I thought he missed.
Yeah, it was so close. Just as we cut away, he must have just picked it up.
Oh, yeah, I thought he threw his away and didn't get it. That's why E is the better key in that situation. But yeah, this is the first round for the Eagles, and this is good. This will start them hopefully onto a bit of a change of pace in this game for them as well.
Just taking a look at the Americas, which is going on at the moment as well. Got Furia taking on Pain. That's actually quite the fixture there. First map went in favor of Furia. You can go check out the second. It's add a D to the end of the current URL. Second map is actually on Vertigo. So back underway, round number 7. Just a limp smoke out yard. Nothing too crazy here. Down towards the lower deck already is GXX. He's going to be peeking his head up through Secret with the AWP, and he'll be able to call outside clear.
Synopsy, forward flash. He looked away. He actually had the crosshair right. That's going to give them the entrance again. Siren and Chopper getting the openers, and when Flatcher's on the move, he's on the move away. I think even though there's only 3 alive, they're already going to call this save because the money is not close. Maybe, oh, look at this too. If they hold, the GXX thinks I'll just hold the op towards Secret, maybe catch someone leaving. Little does he know he's actually being lurked on right now. He is looking back this direction, no, but no idea. There was no way he was going to react in time.
That's a big find from Chopper. Take away a couple more guns here. Denying the AWP is massive. I want to send out a search party. So Chopper can continue to push forward, and Patsy can actually bait him. I know a lot of people in this situation think, oh no, buddy up so you can trade. Well, they don't know Patsy's here.
No, they don't need to, yeah, and they think if they kill Chopper, oh, we'll run and get the AWP. Patsy just uses that as the lure. The dragon lure. Oh, he did go for the trade. Perfect. Either way.
Yeah, perfect stuff. Really well handled. Only 1 gun surviving. That's going to be Scenary. The cash money situation, GXX and Flatcher can buy. So can Rigon, and Scenary can drop 1. So we could see another buy round out of the Eagles, but I'd love to see a timeout. The score line's already 6-1. Map 2 used the round time line little feature they had on the broadcast there to highlight just how good, how important good starts are for the Bad News Eagles, and this is the complete opposite of a good start. This is the technical term, I think, is a bad start.
It's 6-1 T-side Spirit, but it is their map choice as well, keep in mind, so...
What do you think, 2 blowouts and then we get to the 3rd and then it's competitive?
Ooh, I don't know if I know... I kind of think 2-0 Spirit is based on... Okay, this is fast. That's foolish. We might have something in this one. Pistols again. Deagle for GXX. He finds 2 kills. Wonderful is not feeling so much so as he's suddenly tagged down to 62, trying to fire thought shots with the AWP through the hut. But I don't know about 2 blowouts, Chad.
Okay.
I think B&E is capable of winning a map in this series, no question. But I don't think they can... I don't know if they're capable of blowing out Spirit.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough. I think Mirage as well, you get to territory like that, anything's possible. But this is a bit of a fumble here from Spirit. Wasn't the cleanest with a top set piece like that. Didn't look like anybody was flashed. The util wasn't in place, and now the bomb is on the floor directly at the feet of GXX, who's on the jiggle with the Mackie. For Wonderful, maybe this is just defensive utility. Oh, he's actually going to deny the AWP?
I mean, 50 seconds, maybe he thinks they'll start hunting, but at this point, I don't think they can afford to either, so he may have been able to just save that. I guess maybe he'll also think about...
Maybe he goes for it.
I mean, $7,500, maybe he does, right? If you're not going to save the op, then you might as well have something up your sleeve. So I think he does. I think he tries to make this expensive at the very least. Scenary's position, though, is pretty solid. He's going to spot the feet. Ooh, if he doesn't go wide now, he sees it already. He's going to see him first, and no question makes it. So fair enough, he wanted to go for it. That's why the op was thrown away.
Okay, here's the match we're talking about earlier with the lovely jerseys. Fantasy, 1 round away from being eliminated here. So things aren't going well for Tudson and Co. But Illumina, the representatives to feel instead of
Tudson and Bro.
Oh yes, the coach behind them is Tudson's brother. They do look quite similar. Maybe just the hairdo a little bit different. So they look like brothers. That's they got that going for them. Oh wait, no, there's Bro in the server too.
I was waiting for you to
Bro is
clue in.
actually behind.
I know.
I got
You
done
went
in
further
multiple
away.
ways.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to clue in. It's fine. But you actually handled it very well and hit me with a fact. So there you go. Who won that Battle of Wit? I don't know.
Well, I look like the idiot, so I think you did.
But that's you looked like that before we started this conversation.
That's true. You're right.
So now he's going to fall off the railing. It's GXX that will cover back toward Turnpike with a passive hold. So magixx now has position inside of the ramp room to work with, and they don't necessarily need to commit to it just yet. Minute 16. We know Spirit likes to be fast, but they can play the map now a bit. Okay, well, they're just going to go. Why not?
They have a smoke available here on Chopper. So if they were to smoke off the single door and then you throw the molly into the stairwell through the window for the double door, that can eliminate a lot of key positions. But playing on the site, that is the biggest drama right now. They will have to clear out Scenari. So Chopper lining up the smoke. Where is he going to lob this one? Yeah, you can see it there towards single. Now Molly through the windows. Oh, actually backside. So Scenari will get a chance at a fight here. Flashing forward. Scenari needs to peek, needs to take a duel before they scale too quickly. Chopper's found the first. Scenari's noted and he's low. Now he's dead. Do clean up Patsy, but might just have to be another save here.
Bomb has been planted.
And it will be.
Yeah, I think that's the call. So this is now going to go to 7-2 in favor of Team Spirit.
So here's a fun one. I'm just double checking. If Furia, actually it doesn't matter. Out of Furia and Pain, whoever wins, that'll be the first Brazilian representative locked in for the Rio Major. So that's kind of cool. It was getting a little bit worrisome over there in terms of Brazilian representation because Liquid, EG, 9Z, and Complexity were.
I mean, 9Z is still
bucket.
South American, but you're right. They're not Brazilian, and we definitely want some of that representation in Rio. There's no question. But it's interesting because like I would have thought they would have been the favorites coming into it, but Pro League, I think you touched on this as well. It was like a boot camp for all those NA teams. I mean, even EG getting through in the fashion they did is excellent for them.
9Z took down ATK earlier in the day, and they have qualified. And we mentioned Brazilian representation. Well, they have the coach, Zach, who people might remember. He is their coach who's Brazilian, and one of the newer pickups, the Orpa NQZ, 17 years young. So he's from that generation that would have been watching Fallen and Co when he was, wow, about 12?
Monacy's age.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, a couple of these young guns in the server. It'll be exciting to see 9Z, so congratulations to them. They have locked themselves in for the Challenger stage.
Well, and Fallen and Co, I mean, he could have technically been watching that when he was 5. If you go back to 1.6 and such, and then Kaboom was 2015, so you're still looking back 7 years. And yeah, he would have been 10 years old. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, when you look at it like that, it makes us feel old, but it also shows you how far the game has come and how much has evolved and how many people's lives have been changed and touched by this 5v5. All right, 7-2. Half already feels pretty far gone for BNE, and they are going to do their best work on the CT side. I don't want to give people too many false hopes. The T side is going to be a whole lot harder for them. So let's see if they can get themselves up to something competitive here. 5 or 6 means we might be able to get a game, but it needs to start now. Just pottering around. magixx on the roof, making sure that there's no flank possible as the other 4 work as a unit. Secret molly deployed and flash over. So do they want to go down secret or do they want to try and crawl and take some fights? That's the question in a smoke wall.
Wonderful with the scope already set toward heaven. The only way you can see over the open wall, shall we call it, not the close one toward the red crate. And he's going to sit back now and see if any rotations come out from main. It's Synopsy that's the closest to the vents are doing so.
No one's rotated B yet. Someone will have to address this at some point, but they might be a bit timid to do so because of the aggressive ramp stance. You can see Scenari and GXX highlighted here. But as soon as a door blows open or a molly's thrown like this, BNE understand that the site is in a bit of trouble.
Found smoke, GXX. Not the best movement. Catches the box on the way by, but that's all right. They've got lots of space for him to go downstairs. And now he needs to be fully on alert of the fact that they are very much down there. Control room, windows blown out, so that confirms position, but that's also distracting because the flash comes in, smoke out in front of Decon. They actually could have walked out, maybe caught him off if he wasn't careful in that position as he has to go back. Synopsy beats the Molotovs. So Wonderful's caught out by that. They didn't expect him to have already been rotated. He is going to be isolated for a moment, but he's doing the job. His teammate's still waiting for the flames to extinguish inside of it. Meanwhile, Siren's going to go aggressively into Scenario as they want to cover off the ramp position. They've already done the task of winning the duels on the retake of the backside, so they had to win some ground back, Team Spirit, and try and watch this bomb, but magixx, they haven't considered his position. He's rotated around on them. They do now. They look at the door. He nearly got it done, though. Rigon tagged down to 9 HP.
If he gets both those kills, knocks them off the defuse, sure, it buys more time, but that's a very winnable 2-on-1 in that situation because he gets to play with the door, gets to keep the pressure on, can pick up another rifle that's at his feet, so a really good attempt there from magixx. They will get this one done, and you have to credit Synopsy. You were talking about him before, his impact on Ancient against the Strauss. He mauled them, but it was the combination of Flatro and Synopsy, which is the deadly duo of this roster. Rigon is another big name who will finish off the final. I did see, because we had a bit of a break between our first series and now this one here, there was all the BNE guys walking around fully kitted up, but they were on their own. They had their headsets on. They were clearly getting into the zone, trying to get fired up. The calm before the storm.
I do love that. There is a lot of mental prep in that regard that can be benefited. Flattree trying to spam the smokes close side of the red crate if anyone wants to wrap onto the mini. Flash out. He's still spamming into it. They love this open smoke, don't they? No one up top either with an op to try and see over top of it. GXX is positioned elsewhere.
I think this is a good call from Chopper to continue to have this type of a play because if you're getting the space time and time again, you will be able to stop the retakes with small adjustments. So the teams right now, in terms of the broad strokes, are only making minor adjustments, right? They're not changing the entire strategy. The similar scenes for the way that Bad News Eagles are set up, but they already have a player down here to address. So it's these little pieces on the chessboard. And now it's how the utility is going to be used. Heat do eliminate Saw. You can see that here, the C-Stream update on your screen. So that'll be it for Saw in their run, and he will continue to see another day. Now, what's the change-up going to be? Door swings open, smoke again, spam from Scenario. That was ahead of the play, so again, Wonderful the first to die.
GXX, AWP now comes in from ramp. Smoke on right side where bomb goes down close to Decon as well, very close to Decon, which would be a larger target to spam at in the smoke from that position.
Wow.
But Siren's actually gone around them here. He's closer than the op might anticipate. And he's just going to play the wall and wait for utility to potentially help him out. He sees Gun Barrel instead, and he's able to joust with one Flattery, beat him to the punch. Quite literally got that close. And it's now going to be Rigon and Synopsy as they wait it out and maybe even try and rotate away. Chopper's going to cut them off backside of the vents. And with both kills, it's now 8-3.
Some very sharp players on Spirit today, isn't there? Chopper's hitting some bangers. Siren there demonstrating he can get it done as well. I think Siren is actually a pretty good little anchor player. And I know that we're on the T side here and he's been active in this, but on the CT side, when he's locking down sites, he's solid individual, and this was great play. The pathing there to be able to avoid that AWP scope. Very well understood the situation from Siren. Knockout blow from him. Sent them scampering here straight into the aim of Chopper. So the in-game leader with some more impact denying weapons. Chopper and magixx, 11 kills apiece. Siren with 9. Haven't even really needed Patsy the X Factor and Wonderful's AWP just yet. And a timeout called now, but this will be from Spirit. So giving BNE an opportunity to breathe.
Yeah, they need a few deep breaths here, I think, in this one. Scenario is going to be on the MP9. They still have the op, though. And GXX needs to get some huge momentum picks with it. And what I mean by that is get some openers, get some things that can slow down this aggression early on, because it's exactly what they said on the desk is what we're seeing. Team Spirit are going to just try and overwhelm the start of the rounds. GXX inside with the AWP, even jumps down from rafters. Look at Synopsy, though. He wants to do the same thing for BNE. They're not slow at the start either. That was red, though. They knew that the door was out. magixx, I think, heard him come in there, so flash, and he's out. He knows that the gig's up. He knows that he has no element of surprise, and that was the best positioning, or best weapon for that positioning was surprise.
I think if you're getting a number advantage here as BNE, you have to convert, right? These aren't going to come too often. So the fact that you've been able to pick one up here early off the back of Mr. Flatro, you need to make sure you're converting a round like this. The half's already gotten away from you. You're already 5 rounds in the hole. You can't even bring it back to level pegging anymore. Now it's just about making sure that you can limit the amount of damage done here. Chopper is going to find them some room, or at least look for that space as Synopsy activates again. magixx down, and Chopper, he's been heard.
But he's not found. On Flatro trying to do that right now. He knows he's got to be there. Oh, he looked away. He looked away at the exact time the smoke dissipated. I think he was worried that there was someone still at big garage. Synopsys is going to drop the bomb, and it's a 5-on-1. And it was a wonderful half, but now it's going to be slightly less so as it'll go down to 8-4. Did he just try and flick that? He's like, why not?
He definitely did.
That's one of those ones like, well, if I've got to swing and look, I might as well just press the button. He goes for the no-scope even. But no movie fragger success this time.
Nice attempt from Wonderful there. But double AWPs. So that's a curious little feature here for the Bad News Eagles to have to operate with on the CT side. There is money available to get out at least something resembling a buy here, and Spirit will shove all the chips into the center of the table. 2 AKs, a Galil, and some Tech 9s. They might want to keep it fast. If they noted that that second AWP was picked up there before the round transpired, or expired even, then a fast top or a top explode with AWPs having to retake. Yeah, good luck, B&E. Maintaining outside presence. Top heart molly to condition. Wonderful repositioning for some more util. And over towards A will go. Well, here it comes. They're going to be quite quick on this. Ollie's forward, smoking out. Synopsy behind their own smoke. Rigon finds the opener. Synopsy's going to try and mop this up, but he'll be traded. They're in.
And indeed, GXX shots out, but Patsy and magixx are able to get the kills. So again, in early onto a site is Team Spirits, and again a save. So they're going to save to potentially play for a 9-6 at best in the half.
Wait, hold up a second.
No, yeah, I think you've noted it. They might 3-on-3. It seemed early to call a save. I just trusted you, but they're going to go with strength and numbers, and it's Patsy that's gone already. Scenario hits that shot. Now it's on. Wonderful overcommits, thinks he can get them all, and it's on magixx. He's got one. Get inside the hut, run away, get the reload done, but he's going to get Molotov'd off. They can't get to the bomb. It's close enough. It's close enough. He can swing on it. He's going to. Oh, he got bit deep enough in the corner. It didn't spread, and he just barely gets it done. 6 HP. The time's not there. This is done. Bomb's gone.
Maybe they should have saved after all. That one there, you know, you see the reposition. They throw the one way to at least make them think they're going to be coming from the heavens. That's a massive round to pull off. I even think that their own incendiary there was burning Flatro.
It was. When he crossed over, it was.
So that's a massive issue.
He still won the duel, but it doesn't matter. He ran out of time.
So this was good util usage, right? They fake the one-way heaven. They smoke off Squeaky. They've eliminated 2 key positions, or at least made them think about a couple. And you see him as he swings over that lick of damage. Lucky he didn't 1G in that situation. And Chopper knows. That'll be the 9th. Confirmed.
And I'm sure there would have been people that move. He didn't have it either way with time.
Yeah.
The round was done even if he didn't win the duel. But yes, credit for him for at least going for it, running through it if anything.
Yeah, and that was with a couple of Tech 9s in place. So Spirit pull one past the keeper here, and they're going to get themselves into another interesting looking buy. Bad News Eagles at this point, you're in the cycle where it's like, oh, we have to keep buying. There's really no way out of this. So they will do exactly that. A couple of MP9s, a FAMAS, an M4. And the thing is, your options are so limited at this point. I think Spirit might even find themselves up to a total of the double digits in this first half. There's not a HE that was purchased, though. Oh, no, never mind. There is on Wonderful. Missed that one for a second. I was going to say, blowing open Squeaky. You need this $300 grenade to make it possible, and they're going fast. Real fast down the vent.
Super fast. Minute 40, and they're already in. Chopper's already busted around through decon to clear backside as well. Scenario rotates in. He's going to try and do damage. He has hit Siren pretty low. He's actually down to 34. Rigon, MP9 versus AK. AK is going to win that one out in the hands of Patsy, but they aren't winning every battle. They've lost Chopper. Doesn't matter, though. Want to call this one a save, Chad?
You know how we had...
He's dead anyway, look at this.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up a point you brought out in our last match. Take a look at the scoreboard, hit tab. Look at how many back and forth rounds we've had. There's similar scenes as to what happened in our previous matchup.
It's a good point. It still feels like Spirit are just so fast that they're running them over, but it is back and forth. The last 8 rounds have yet to have back-to-back winners, although this one is going to be back-to-back, the first in that long.
Yeah, I think if you're CT side of Nuke, you can't string 2 consecutive rounds together. You have enough
money. Yeah, money's going to catch up with you eventually.
And Nuke's caught up with them here already. Good to see Hallie, the coach, back behind the Spirit lads. He got the rough end of a deal, I believe. Wasn't able to be there for them at PG or Antwerp. Same thing happened to Peacemaker.
Yep.
So, yeah, some frustrating times, but that's all right. He's here now. I guess we can only focus in the now. And speaking of now, magixx is disconnected. So, a little bit of an issue. Just going to restart and should be back with us momentarily. And there's so much Counter-Strike to keep you all busy. I doubt there's any lulls. You go from one game to the other. We can give you some updates here. So close your ears if you don't like spoilers, but as we mentioned yesterday, this is like March Madness. There's always going to be a result on your screen. Fantasy taking on Illuminar. Illuminar will win that in a 2-1 fashion. Fantasy have been eliminated. Heat taking on Saw. Heat, the Frenchman, ended up getting that one done and have eliminated the Portuguese representation of Saw from the event, which is crazy. They've come out last place here, and last time around they were 1 tick away from qualifying. So magixx there just conferring. The staff putting the in-ears back in. We'll be getting him in momentarily, don't you worry about that. But it is kind of crazy to think one of Bait or Sprout will be qualified for the major in a couple of hours' time. Their best of 3 will be kicking off in about 10 minutes. And the same for Cloud9 versus 1win. And 1win, the former who upset G2 yesterday, made G2 look a little bit silly, actually.
Yeah, they did, and the pressure's on for G2. And suddenly, what a change that is from all the hype they had around them at Pro League and topping their group. We touched on that, playing the semifinal against Vitality, and it's just not transpired for them this week. And I think it was Yanko, if I'm not mistaken, that said he doesn't think they will make it now.
I think it's Kassad. I think Yanko still believes.
That's right, that's right. He made the tweet with the meme, and
yeah.
He only hates Hooksy because he's jealous of him.
Okay.
He's, Hooksy's getting all that attention in chat. He really wants all of chat to just spam Kassad, Kassad, Kassad. He wants his own emote.
Giga Chad Kassad.
That's the problem. It's Giga Beta. So it doesn't work the same for him,
You never know. He might get there, but final round here of our first half, and this one is going as the desk predicted. He thought it was going to be quite a heavy-handed victory for Spirit, and on the T side, in case you're just joining us in the Counter-Strike realms, this is a very, 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 very good half from Team Spirit. Count the varies.
I don't know, I counted, but my results vary.
Hey.
magixx will wait with this AK. A bit more patience this time for the play of Team Spirit. Knowing that they're up against lesser weapons, no need to step into the bee's nest at this point. Synopsy's still waiting on the cross. He's gonna get taken out. magixx easily removes him with the AK when he does come through. Patsy outside, patience pays off. Ragon thought he could rotate back in from secrets. That's not gonna work out in his favor at all, and a Molotov just to make sure no one can re-peek his position. He is going to be spotting 2, 3. Okay, I know where they all are, guys. Go in and plant the bomb. Everything's fine. They're all outside, and one's up on Heaven. So they've got the information on that play alone.
And magixx, he doesn't want to give them anything here. We are still in game. Don't you worry about that. Main has been smoked off. A real way forward, but I think you all know what that camera means. The half is coming very quickly, and B&E to break back into this one would have to do something out of this world. JXX had a chance, but wonderful on top of the box. Just the jump on him, and Flatro, up he goes, but here comes Chopper. The impact from this lad has been phenomenal. Flatro down, Scenario the final to find, but the bomb will probably get there first. This is going to be 11-4 in Spirit's favor on their map choice. Nuke is going to be a quick one. We'll be back after a quick break to see if they can get this one done clean as you like. BRB.
Hey Future Pros! Back on Nuke today with a nade set to get you down secret. This is a set piece you will see most pro teams run, with some variants here and there. You will need 3 Future Pros for this execute and 3 smokes total. Future Pro number 1. You will need to line yourself up with the middle of this part of the truck. Aim just out to the left of the bottom left of the right window. Then jump throw the smoke. Future Pro number 2. Jam yourself into the corner of this bollard. Aim above the bracket on the silo and line your crosshair up with the top of this vent. Then simply jump throw the smoke. Future Pro number 3. You will be throwing the close smoke. To throw the smoke, hug the right wall while running and aim just above the first fence post and throw. If done correctly, you will have an easy access to secret, but remember, always have someone watching the flank.
Well, we get back to it, and it is 11-4 for Team Spirit on their map choice coming off a T side. So things are looking pretty good for them to cruise to a potential victory here on Nuke. Now, we did say that in the last series that we casted, and it actually ended up pretty close on Nuke against Big, who didn't quite get the deal done and fell victim in that series to Ents. But this is, I would say, just chat, I'm going to lay it out there, easier to predict.
Okay. All right. Yeah, well, I think both of these maps should be going in the way of the map choosers. So this isn't too surprising to see Spirit storming off to such a massive lead. Patsy, I have to worry about above him here. Hopefully sound is on because here it comes. Synopsy does get the opener, maybe even double up. That's huge.
Okay. All right. I have definitely used the caster curse again, and I apologize to everyone for it. Siren is going to take down Synopsy, though. That was a great start. Even the big old jump off the top of the main entrance. Bomb's going to get planted on this, so magixx and Siren, the only two left in this, and make that just one. magixx got absolutely obliterated. Left side ramp. Siren will peek on right, and Rigon's got that shot as well, 11-5.
You can see Rigon here. He's one of the players who's going to be very fired up. Notice how he didn't move at all there after he finished those kills, because he's getting pumped up. He likes a bit of passion, does old Rigon, and that is a great way to start this T-side campaign. I had a bit of a magixx situation here. My Counter-Strike's also...
Yeah, mine froze.
Hit the dust. So
yeah, I had to reset mine this game as well. I'm not sure if something triggers that. It seems to be minimap related for mine.
I know that there's one with Inferno. It's the chickens. The chickens can cause.
Yeah, you seem to think it's the chickens. It's a lot of like memory to be loaded in, and
they're such a a big part of the game. The chickens. So
yeah,
make sure
and
they don't
super
get corrupted.
important for gameplay. And I definitely don't think the map would be the same without them. It might actually be too one-sided.
Good flash. Not going to be able to clear his Flatro because Patsy used the box to shroud his position, and I don't even know if Patsy's going to see Flatro making the way down. No, he will. The MP9 at range gets the better of him. That's an AK loose.
He should be pretty happy that he got the opening shots for free on that, because he might have gone down if it was a one-on-one with the AK. Wonderful is going to take down Rigon. Again, we're seeing second round by Antics chat, and that AK has been picked up. As you say, that was a free AK given away outside. And that's something I don't know the teams need to do in these, or shouldn't do in these second round situations. Don't give more guns away. Because they already have enough to get it started. We see that every time. We know the scout is just getting foolish these days. People are getting better and better with it. GXX is holding the round together at least. He'll get 2 kills. magixx only good for 1, and that AK hits the deck, so it's not in the hands of the CTs just yet. Siren tries to open the door. He's even going to nade inside, but that's going to go too far because Synopsy stays inside of the silo and shutting the door. Siren says, hey man, I wanted to look inside. What's in the box? Well, it's going to be what's in the box is a clutch from the second round. Wonderful. They open the door. Synopsy gets absolutely obliterated.
Well, fist bumps come in here on the losing side of this one. So, yeah, the BNE, I don't imagine they're too impressed with this. to do the hard work of winning the pistol and then to get stalled out immediately into the second here. The desk again, we'll retouch on that conversation, was about stopping Bad News Eagles' early starts. Well, I know we're in the second half, but they could have started that engine up here. Now, what I liked about this was not wonderful scout shot, but it was the nade that magixx threw. We were actually on him just before they rounded that corner, and he was holding a nade ready that was, I believe, a jump throw. Now, was it a middle throw? Was it a standard throw? Was it an underarm? That's a mystery. I'll have to watch the demo to find out. But I liked it because he was able to stay hidden. He could still activate and fight ramp, but as soon as Wonderful takes contact, he throws the nade comes in, it landed between 3 players, did an awful lot of damage, and we have lost another player here temporarily, so Scenarii will be having a restart. It might be experiencing the same woes as myself, magixx, Matt, and now Scenarii. Quite the company for us to be keeping.
But someone did bring up a really good point in chat in regards to the chickens, Chad.
Okay.
Valorant doesn't have chickens, so that makes us better.
That's unfortunate for poor Valorant, I guess. Maybe they could add rats?
That would make more sense since everyone who plays that game is a rat.
Oh, no, I didn't mean, like, I just thought, what's another little
I'm
fuzzy...
kidding, Valorant.
They can add quackers.
I've had enough stands on my Twitter for 1 week.
Add quackers. They're cute.
Quackers? What are quackers?
Haven't I showed you a quacker before?
No, what's a... Add drop bears?
Yeah, drop bears are one thing. They have vicious teeth. This is a quacker.
Quacker. Oh, okay. It's like a little marmot almost.
So it's a mixture, like, this is the way I explain it. It's like a rat and a kangaroo. They're about this big.
Oh, so they actually are bigger than... Yeah, okay. All right.
That's big.
Yep.
And they only exist
Oh, yeah. Look, they stand on their back legs. They got little, like... The long legs like a kangaroo in the back.
They only exist in Perth, Western Australia, on a little tiny island where there's no predators called Rottnest Island.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're from Perth, right?
Yeah.
Did you somehow breed these?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I
You're not responsible?
No, it wasn't my fault. I think I have a selfie with them somewhere. I went back when E-League was a thing and I was still a player. E-League flew a production company all the way out from Atlanta to Perth to film a bit of who are Renegades before we were playing in E-League. And they visited all of the different lads across Australia, and they came to Perth. And my girlfriend and I at the time, we took them out to Rottnest, and they had a ball. They had a blast.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like it. I was supposed to go over to West Australia at one point, but didn't get there. My friend used to dive in Canberra. Is that west, above you? Northwest?
Canberra is southeast.
No, he's not Canberra. What's northwest above you that's famous for diving?
Ningaloo Reef. That has the whale sharks.
That's probably where it was.
Yeah, that would have been
What's the town on the coast there, though?
There's a couple of names. There's, Monkey Maya is one of them.
That doesn't matter.
Probably up there somewhere.
Yeah, he's up in that corner. Was. Back in Canada now. Molly's to the doorway. It's one flat throw that has to be held at bay from that. He can't run through straight away. Chopper inside of smoke, just waiting to see if he can get some damage onto, in this case, one flat throw. He doesn't know who it is, but he knows someone's there. They've gotten inside the vent. I think he made noise on the ladder, so yeah, there's going to be a rotation. They're aware that someone got in there.
Well, they have this ramp space as well, so Wonderful and magixx to defend against 4 dropping T's. The first 2 for magixx. Patsy's grabbed Scenarii during all of this, and magixx wants some more. He'll push up, but Wonderful's going to steal that, and Flatro in the back lines. He activates, but it's too little, too late. Everybody's already dead, and he's left with 24 points of health, no bomb, and no hope. 13-5, 3 more, and we're ready to jive our way into Mirage.
I haven't seen Mirage yet today, us, on this particular stream. Look, I know a lot of people don't like it. I still like Mirage.
I'm coming back around to Mirage because I now really dislike Overpass.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's like meta's change on maps that it makes them less exciting. Overpass, I agree. I used to love it because there was a lot more bathroom fights. Now
no one goes A anymore.
Yeah, no one does. And it's kind of like, oh, it's just going to be an execution and entries.
I think Halvor Vendetta Gunnarstol had a stat for me on a team that played the map, and it was like 80% of the rounds finished B. I know that I didn't give the stat all the teams or anything, but I quoted Halvor at least, so
yeah, no,
I trust
get it.
him.
Yeah, I'm sure you get the point of it, though, right? But it's a nice shot, Wonderful. It's a good start. Patsy going down was also a good start for B&E. Yeah, and I'm okay with Mirage, the way that it plays right now. I think also because we're seeing more B executes than we used to. So it's not just the A in mid game. We're seeing more B, and it's kind of a refreshing take. But I'm still anti-Vertigo.
I hope Halvor didn't mind me calling his last name Gunnarstol. I know that's not it, but it just reminds me of the Mighty Ducks movie.
I don't know how it's actually said. Yeah, okay.
Greenland or Iceland or whatever, they were Gunnarstol.
It was Iceland was the team they made the opposition because, you know, they couldn't make Canada the best because that would be anti-American.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know those politics too well, but this...
I don't either. I mean, I definitely don't and do at the same time. That isn't political at all. A pistol, a Glock, winning a duel? Take it or leave it.
No one is down to beat just yet. Chopper is trying to respond. This actually still could get out of control. GXX did have that bang over Deagle kill. Chopper's been spotted now, and with some light pistols, they find themselves into a 2-on-4 situation. Now, it might even just be a save for Spirit. They have so many rounds to work with. Why give anything else over, especially the AWP? What would be the point here? And they will concede, but this one, yeah, it's going to leave a bit of a bad look, a bit of egg on the face right now, Spirit. That is the worst round I'd imagine they've played so far in this map. But we're not in dangerous territory. We're not getting too excited about this comeback for Bad News Eagles just yet. But it's something they can believe into. And another one of these factors is, in a best of 3, even if you end up losing map number 1, you can still warm in for map number 2, right? These are still fights, these are still duels. You're getting, used to the movement in the server, the mouse. Every day is a little bit different. So the more round that BNE can extend this one for, the more they can warm into things and give us a better affair once we do make it to map number 2, because that is guaranteed. Oh, Furia. They ended up beating Pain in 2-0 fashion. And they're also locked in for the major. So we added a bunch of teams today already. 9Z and Furia added to that list, alongside of our last matchup where Ents were able to topple that of Big. So the names keep coming.
Yeah.
The list here so I can just reference it.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. Take some notes. Take us to class here, Professor Chad. Professor Chatty B. Outside smoke already. CT's Patsy going to try and use that to his advantage as Synopsy is up above on the silo. This is a timer, though. We have to talk about that with the smokes. He's got about 3 or 4 seconds before he has to move. Oh, he has. He's gone, and he's caught them setting up the smokes. So now he can counter this off. He's going to make a hole in the wall. They have to deal with this, and he knows. He's gone against one flat true as well. Huge start for Patsy in this round.
Oh, dear. That's the entire round frazzled immediately. Not only the damage to Synopsy a big deal, the kill and the presence, and now they have to chop and change. Chopper very, very lucky to be alive. That kill could have changed absolutely everything, so Chopper needs to be counting his lucky stars here, as they're left with this ramp play as the only option. 2 players, magixx and Wonderful, in the standard crossfire, ready and raring to go.
Wonderful. Doesn't matter if he's flashed or not. Had the lineup. magixx goes on top of it after the fact, so they never cleared headshot because they thought it was already clear, as Wonderful shuts it out 14-6.
That shows you how freed up Wonderful is, the fact that he can play 2 ramp because Patsy has so much space outside. Right? That's the difference in these type of rounds here. If Patsy doesn't have that room, then Wonderful has to be more in float. He can't just be sitting ready to take that kind of a fight. So really good stuff here from Spirit and showing their class right now on Nuke. And as soon as they're rounding the corner, look at this. Rigon's like, okay, well, he's over towards Hell. They're not expecting that angle at all. So really, really nice play. And BNE will be now with a 4 spy. Everything they have is 3 Tech 9s and 2 AKs.
Smokes go out toward the secret position. Smoke on top of Flames behind the door, thrown by Chopper. And Spirit looking to get the map points. Again, this is their map, as you mentioned, so you're expecting a blowout either way with Mirage coming up next. Ooh, wonderful. Rigon goes down, so they get the opening pick. Along with these weapons, they now have a hefty advantage. The AK removed, the bomb is dropped, and it's going to be 15-6.
They were more than ready for that. You could see it was highlighted by our observing team there that Wonderful was already playing anti-flash in case there was a pop. He pivoted in a little bit later, but there was no dramas. They're extinguishing the mollies that are coming. They're dodging the flashes. They had more than enough bodies ready there. And now for poor Bad News Eagles, it'll just be down to a couple of Deagles, which is where maybe they'll do their best work. But a bit of a rough stat line for the Eagles is throughout this map, the 6 rounds they have, not a single have been posted in consecutive fashion. It's all been spotty. And this helps to build the case that it has been an awfully strong showing here. As corralled early, they'll have to wait behind that deep incendiary, buying Spirit a little bit of time here. Neri will try towards ramp, and this is where it just gets desperate. Understandably so. 23 kills for magixx. Now he's been having a game, absolutely mauling them. Boris the Butcher and plucking them apart. Patsy does spot 1 top silo. They also know that Flatcher had made it across. They didn't know it was warehouse. They knew it was secret, and Patsy figures that one out. So 3 more kills, 2 more kills. And we're almost done.
Bomb down is going to be easily picked up, but I think that's the bigger, or sorry, of little concern right now. The bigger concern being that they've only got Deagles and 4 kills to find. Flash to main. Oh, Ragon, I think, was going to hope to drop down off that, but Big Garage reveals him, and this one's done. 16-6. Team Spirit, pretty solid and convincing for the former semi-finalists of our last major in Antwerp. Now, just one map away from getting qualified for the next one in Rio. We'll take a break, join the desk, and maybe Mirage can turn things around in this series for the Eagles. Otherwise, it will be all bad news, Chad.